image generators are becoming more advanced, which is really exciting for content creators. But these advancements do have a dark side, the potential for misuse. And this is sparking debates over ethical guidelines and content moderation. The wider industry is grappling with how to prevent AI from generating harmful or misleading content while still pushing the boundaries of what these technologies can do. And this brings us to XAI's new image generator, Grok, which has stirred some controversy for its ability to create provocative and, I suppose, potentially dangerous images with fewer restrictions than other platforms. So, Raj, I mean, it's great from a content creation perspective, but yeah, let's dive in. What are your thoughts?
Well, firstly, I must say Grok 2 has blown my mind away. I spent the entire weekend geeking out about Grok 2. I've subscribed to Grok 2, start to generate images, stuff which cannot be done as been documented across on various platforms can be done by Grok 2, especially making images. And you can take a two political figures, put them together. Famously, there's like a lot of Trump and Kamala Harris images floating around the internet, especially on X or Twitter. So yes, it's dangerous because obviously, as users, we understand we are, I would say, more advanced users of AI. We understand what's possible. For many others, they will not know what's hit them, and they will wonder how the hell did these two people come together in this way. But clearly, it's all fraudulent. It's all generated by AI, so these are not real images, and that will be a problem because other tools like DALL-E 3, Midjourney will not permit you to create these images, where now you can create images of famous people trained on primarily X and Twitter's content, and that is scary.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, the dangers of misleading images. I mean, we're coming up to U.S. elections again shortly. We've got kind of ample evidence on how social media can impact these well, elections, any kind of large scale, driving that kind of mass, almost hysteria behind the scenes. We've seen it with previous elections. What do you see as the biggest dangers of Grok creating these controversial or misleading images? I mean, images, we can watermark them. You can say generated by AI, but if they're just being forwarded without any kind of thought to where they actually came from on social platforms, I mean, that's a recipe for disaster.
It is, and people can get rid of watermarks. People can get rid of metadata. That's the issue with these things. And again, as you rightly mentioned, people can forward them on WhatsApp groups, for example. Many people who don't think about stuff before they forward on to other people and cause panic. And that is where we want to avoid. Now, that's the challenge with this kind of content. On the flip side, it's got some really impressive features which can be used for personal benefits. So let me give you an example. Soon we're gonna celebrate my daughter's birthday, and the theme is Mickey Mouse themed trampoline party. Now it took me a long time and scratching my head to kind of create this image. I tried all the major image creating AI tools, including Midjourney, including DALL-E, ChatGPT, obviously DALL-E over there as well. And on Grok 2, took me under a minute. I could put in Mickey Mouse, trampoline party, and my daughter's name, and it's all created together. And the result was pretty impressive. I could do that in 1 minute. Now, there is obviously copyrighted information being used in this image, which is not okay for most big brands and AI tools. But for personal use, it's okay because I'm just putting it out to my daughter's friends and their parents, and for that it should be okay. So now the challenge lies with both Grok, the founders, obviously X, the founders, Elon Musk, and that party, and also us. If I use that information or that image across in publicly, which is obviously not is beyond my personal use for my company, for instance, there's a challenge for my company as well. So So certainly there is a bigger challenge here for both the image creator and the image provider as well.
Yeah. And I suppose for content moderation as well, because I mean, if these things are being disseminated on a social media platform, Grok does have a more relaxed approach to content moderation. Compared to the likes of Facebook and Instagram and that kind of thing, where there are still regulations. So, what is the impact of this going to be on the ongoing discussions about AI ethics and the need for regulation? I mean, there's still that's a massive grey area at the moment.
Well, first thing I need to understand is how did Grok get away with this? How are they still going on with this after people have seen what it can generate? I'm surprised. I haven't read the legal context to it. I'm guessing they're saying that it's up to the users to make sure they generate the right images and not put it out there. But now suddenly the issue lies with everybody. You can't post information out there without being into hot soup, legally speaking. And obviously, the platform which generated these images in the first place are also to be blamed for it. So how are they getting away with it? I'm not too sure, but it's just an experiment to create the wow effect. Is that what the plan is? Because they have done that for sure. It definitely is a great tool. And as I mentioned, not only for generating controversial images, actually it's actually a great tool to even write stuff because most AI tools cannot write stuff really well on the image. This one did a flawless job at it.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's new laws in Europe and the UK targeting AI-generated content, and Grok's practices could affect X's reputation and ability to follow these rules. Now, X is obviously quite big on the freedom of speech and that sort of thing, which you can kind of, if you're looking at it objectively, you can see the argument from both sides. But there needs to be some kind of regulation somewhere. So, do you think we're going to get to a stage where countries are actually block X, for example, because their platform regulations don't align with the regulations from the likes of the Europe and the UK?
Europe is super hot on regulations, especially they are keen to find more AI specific regulations in the last few months. There's UK or British Safety Act laws as well, which come into play. There will be certainly some discussions happening there. Recently, Elon Musk especially has got in trouble with UK law, UK legal frameworks anyway. So just another one to add to the list, I guess. But equally, it's going to go through a certain amount of scrutiny, and there's no way around it. Unfortunately, this is one step too far. But equally, as I said, there is something in this. Technology is fairly impressive. How they generate something so quickly is a high caliber. Remember, this is only the second iteration of Grok, whereas ChatGPT and DALL-E 3 has been on it for several iterations. They launched different versions of it, and still DALL-E 3 is not anything sort of as impressive as we've got its fingers wrong, people's noses wrong. You got the that kind of glow around images, for example, and this one just makes photorealistic images all the time. So something is doing really well. Obviously, there are some bits to take out and some bits to keep. So we'll see what happens in the coming days, but it's definitely controversial.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let's actually just speak about how this could impact the future of AI image generators. I think Grok has proven that without too much regulation, the innovation can skyrocket, and we've spoken about this in previous episodes as well. So, where is that line, between innovation and regulation? We're moving fast and breaking stuff, but that can have quite serious ramifications down the line. But if you have too much regulation, you're not pushing the technology to see how far it can go. So, do you think these issues are going to shape how other image generators are developed and how they deal with the ethical concerns that come with it?
Absolutely. Well, as I mentioned before, and we discussed before as well, with AI tools, this is the wild, wild west period of AI tools. They'll generate stuff, they'll create things, and then ask for forgiveness. And that's going to be the trend in the coming months because you have to get on with things and allow to break things, and that's part of what Grok is doing as well. This is something which Eric Schmidt, the ex-chairman of Google, mentioned recently as well in his Stanford University interviews. So he believes something similar is going to happen again. That's okay. But equally, we need to be careful about where do we draw the line. I feel there will be regulations because everything's just powerful in technology and otherwise, like finance, telecom, have regulatory bodies across the world. Even our data, for example, is preserved by or taken care by regulations across in Europe, outside the European region as well. So we will have these laws or frameworks for us to follow to protect the abilities of these tools in the future, but also to protect the citizens of these countries as
Mm.
well. Or in all, at the moment, this is a time to go and break stuff. So go ahead and do big things, and then later on, write a letter of apology for it.
Awesome. So, as AI continues to advance, the question of how we balance innovation with ethical responsibility becomes more crucial, obviously. We'd love to hear your thoughts as the audience. Do you think AI platforms should have stricter content guidelines, or is there room for creative freedom, even if that freedom is a little questionable and controversial? Please do share your views with us on social media or in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss out on future conversations. Until next time, thanks, Raj.
Thank you, Megan.